Greetings, Aries. This is your reading for this new moon in your sign on the 1st of April. We've got a shortened Celtic cross laid out face down, so I'll just turn that up. Sorry, I couldn't make the Virgo full moon reading for those wonderful subscribers. I apologise. I was in the process of moving, and so I'm back in my bolt hole in the South Island. So yeah, it's interesting after 2 years of being somewhat of a nomad there, but for the grace of others go I. But let's have a look. Let's turn up the central point in the Celtic, shortened Celtic cross. We're looking at, well, that's pretty amazing here. Okay, we'll start out. It sort of looks a little bit self-explanatory in my mind, but we will go through and clarify this reading. Look, possibly there's some Aries out there. We get the 9 of Swords to begin with. We know it's a card of catastrophic thinking and worry, anxiety, all of that sort of stuff, waking up, early hours of the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock, say, just worrying about stuff. It is crossed by the 5 of Discs, a card of lack, a card of not having enough, a card of not making what you think should have been the right choices because you maybe lacked confidence or, let go of opportunities that were available to you. Look, it's looking quite challenging in this central position because the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Discs can go together really well, as we see here. So, remember these are very general readings, but a central point here is issues with lack and worrying. And that catastrophic 9 of Swords, catastrophizing things, we really need to get a grip on our mind. We live in a society that's obsessed with following mental process, or that thought is king, intellect is queen. It's actually, sometimes it can be the opposite. We can't always trust our mental processes. We can't always trust our mind. We have habits. And this is the basis of this reading here at this current time with the 9 of Wands. It is a card of defense. It's a card of, basing decisions on what has happened in the past and zeroing in on the negative aspects of those things which happened in the past and being sort of defensive about it. So you can see this is quite clear. The thing is, Aries, let's face it, like populations around the globe are feeling that sort of frenzy of anxiety and stuff at the moment. Of course, there is nothing to be afraid of in terms of being vulnerable, in terms of having insecurities. Everyone on the planet does. They are difficult to deal with at certain times. They're difficult to deal with, and I think for some Aries out there at the moment, this is really, whatever this is about, family or where you live or what's going on in your community, what's going on in the world. You're dealing with some issues here in regards to your own vulnerabilities and how you get a handle on having a level of control over allowing some things, letting go of some things, catastrophic thinking does no good. The recent past, though, Aries, is that you have experienced this beautiful Six of Discs. Generosity of the flow, the incoming, the outgoing. This card speaks of, maybe you've had to make use of some generosity from somewhere else, and it's rankled you a bit, Maybe you've had to admit to a few things. Maybe you've had to admit, yeah, I am too defensive. Yeah, it does sort of screw things up sometimes. Yeah, it does get me into arguments and stuff like that, Aries, Presently, we see another 6, so it's looking pretty good, actually. You've come back into balance, dear Aries, here. The 6 of Wands, the victory card. Winning. It's as if you've been in some kind of situation where you've had to expose certain things about yourself that you don't necessarily like, possibly. But in fact, it's made you more attractive to others. It's given you more respect from others, actually. Moving forward, we've got the Page of Wands and the Moon. Page of Wands, Te Marama, the Moon. Experimental. You're willing to take risks. You've extended your skill base, actually. This is an adolescent mind. It's Aries, you're well and truly so confident in terms of getting out there and just doing. Verb action is a verb, and you're all about that. This card is not afraid to take risks, even when there are certain things that aren't seen or at this point understood for you. What that's going to give you, so you've kind of bounced back, Aries. You've had to deal with whatever that difficult situation in the central point has been for you. Difficult situation around, self-exposure, having to ask for assistance, whatever it is. There has been a defensive element to it. But you've kind of you've bounced back right around again. It's actually worked in your favour, is what I'm getting from this reading today. It's worked in your favour. And you're moving forward with a kind of fresh, experimental energy. You've extended your skill base, as I said. You've got more recipes to add to your kitchen. And what that brings you moving forward is this gorgeous Queen of Pentacles. So a new level of actual generosity, Aries, and benevolence, and authority and control and coin. So, it's looking pretty good, as if you have overcome some aspect within yourself that was in some ways causing a lot of grief, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry unnecessarily. You have. Look, you've faced something here and you're out the other side of it, I do believe, or you're in the process of coming out the other side of it. When we're looking at the central position of the Nine of Swords and the Five of Discs, the Lack card, we have the Three of Swords. We have the Three of Swords and the Ace. You've faced some level of sadness, some difficulty, some sorrow here. You've faced it fully, like big time. Right there, right in your face with this Ace. You've utilised that somewhere in here. You've said, all right, get rid of that 3. I've done that. I've done it. I don't want to carry it with me. I'm taking a new one. And off I go. This is really good. Can we look at the 6? Actually, no, let's look at the 6 of discs for Aries, please. Yeah, somewhere in this interchange or exchange, you felt really sort of limited. Now, only, someone out there might relate to this. You only get it like this, right? You only actually received something because you allowed the old personal limitations to be released, which were solely in your mind. That got the flow going. But it also meant that you had to expose aspects of yourself that possibly you didn't want to. So that's really beautiful. Let's look at this victory. Because there is a victory here, Aries. And it really is. That other people, see you, yeah. And taking that and slicing away. You've used this. You've used this gift. Somewhere in here you realized that acknowledging, let's say, vulnerabilities, you acknowledged those, and in turn they became a great tool for you, Aries. I say this because victory comes in the form of the Queen, another Queen, Queen of Swords. You've faced some major truths in recent weeks. I do see major home truths. And what appeared to be disastrous at the time has turned into a gift. Another gift. We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Ace of Wands moving forward. Now this page, even as young, new beginner. What is it? Beginner's mind. Taking hold of this. Wow. Without being able to totally see what's laying out on the chessboard here, but we're still prepared because we're a brave Arian. We're a brave Aries. We're open. We've released our binds, our invisible bondage. We took a chance. This is really amazing, Aries. Queen of Pentacles. So we've got 2 queens. Queen of Pentacles moving forward. Again, an elevation. We have one more for the Queen of Pentacles. Elevation. We get the Knight of Wands, impulsivity, movement, like fast action. Whatever you're not aware of now or that you don't actually see, whether that's with eyes or in your mind, you will very soon. There's a level of abundance with this Queen, like resources. If it didn't occur on a personal level, this thing, which I always, it's a very internal thing that I see when I do readings. It's very internal sort of thing, not so much literal, more metaphorical. What was I saying? If it wasn't a sort of internal process that you went through, it could be that you were basically on the bones of your ass, and by just exposing something about yourself, it could have been like a talent. Somehow you got all this stuff coming to you just by taking a chance, by taking a risk. Beautiful. We're looking very abundant as we move forward here, Aries. With that also we had the 3 and have the 3 of discs. So in some ways you're starting a rebuild. You're building stuff up from the foundation again, and this time from sort of new foundations that involve other people. Someone has your back here, or that you're involved with a group of people, that you found a group of people that you really click with, and there's a collaborative thing going on, there's a collective thing going on, or on a very, as I said before, looking at it in a really internal way, you're creating a new, wonderful castle for yourself, my friends. It's beautiful. A new whare. Woohoo. So that's brilliant. Let's see. Do we need a journey map? Let's get a journey map. Let's get a journey map card. Yeah, you know now. There was a point where you weren't sure of direction. This is the Compass Mistress. Up the top of the card it says it's okay. We're heading for our true north, as they say. North node. When all seems very confusing, the Compass Mistress comes along to say it's okay. You know where you're going, Aries. Beautiful. Thank you for joining me. Take good care, and we'll see you next time. Ka kite, bye.